right, boys and girls, we are on part 2 of lesson 10.4. So go ahead and flip your workbook page open up to page 674. We have a new bar graph that we're going to be reading right now. It is trees at the farm, and you should always read that graph to make sure you understand it. So looking at the y-axis, it says the number of trees, so you can see the trees would be 0 through 8. And then the different types of trees that are listed on this bar graph are oak, pecan, maple, and apple trees. All right, let's look at our questions now. How many trees are at the farm? So if this is the total amount of trees, we need to add up all 4 values together. So let's take a look at how much each one is. Oak, we're going to follow our finger all the way up, and we can see oak has 6. Pecan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pecan goes up to the 3. Maple goes up to the 7. And apple goes to the 2. So I want to add up the total amount. So I'm going to add up 6 plus 3 plus 7 plus 2 to find the total amount of trees. Now lucky me, I see another way to group a 10. So 3 plus 7 equals 10. And then I'm going to add 6 plus 10 equals 16, plus another 2 equals 18. So 18 total trees on the farm. All right, how many trees are not apple trees? So we're going to get rid of the apple, and we're only going to count up oak, pecan, and maple. Well, if I know my total amount of trees is 18, I could just subtract 2 from that 18, and I get that there are 16 trees that are not apple trees. Suppose 7 more trees are brought to the farm. How many trees would be at the farm then? Explain. So if we had 18 trees to begin with, and somebody brought 7 more, am I going to add 7 or am I going to subtract 7? Right, you're going to add 7 to that amount. So you're going to add 18 plus 17, and when you add, not 17, 18 plus 7, and when you add up those two numbers together, you would have a total of 25 trees. All right, use the data in the bar graph about trees to finish the sentences. There are blank fewer apple trees than oak trees. Explain. All right, so let's look up at the apple trees. There are 2 apple trees and there are 6 oak trees. Whenever we want to know the fewer amount, we're going to subtract. So we're going to subtract the 6 oak trees minus the 2 apple trees. So we know there are 4 fewer apple trees than oak trees. And how we explained it? Well, we subtracted 2 from 6. All right, I'm going to move on. If you need more time on this page, hit the pause button. If you're ready to move on, go ahead and move on to 675. All right, we're going to use this bar graph. We're on the homework page now, 675. All right, so this bar graph is showing people's favorite sports. And the sports listed are baseball, soccer, basketball, and football. And then if you look underneath, these are the number of children that voted for their favorite sports. So let's answer the questions. How many children chose basketball? So let's go up to the bar graph. And we're going to follow our finger all the way down to the end of the bar, and we can see that it is how many kids? 5. Very good. 5 children voted for basketball. All right, the next one. Which sport did the most children choose? So look up at your bar graph, and which one is the longest bar? Because that's going to tell us the most amount of children. Very good. It was soccer. Soccer's bar went all the way to the 8. How many more? Subtract. Children chose basketball Then baseball. So when we see those clue words, we know that we're finding the difference between basketball and baseball. So basketball went to the 5, and we know we have to subtract the baseball amount, which is 3. And when we do those two numbers, we get 2 more children. And then finally, which sport did the fewest children choose? So fewest would be the smallest amount. So look up at your bar graph, which one had the smallest bar? Very good, the football. All right, how many children chose baseball or basketball? So we want to add up these two together. So baseball was 3 and basketball was 5. So we want to know the total between the two. And there were 8 children that chose either basketball or baseball. And then number 6, I want you to come up with something that hasn't already been said about the bar graph above. So you might say like soccer had 8 votes or baseball had the second lowest amount of votes. So you're going to come up with something. I'm going to write down that basketball had 5 votes. All right. If you need more time, hit the pause button. We're going to move on to the next page. All right. Use the bar graph. How many shells did the children have in all? So we have a bar graph here. This tells us the number of shells that they have. Picture going to the beach and collecting those seashells. So these children, Ella, John, Lily, and David, they all collected a different amount of seashells. Well, they want to know how many they have in all. So we have to add up all of the amounts together to find out the total amount of seashells. So Ella had 2. John had 5. Lily had 3. And David had 4. So we want to add up those numbers together. 2 plus 5 plus 3 plus 4 equals. So you want to add up those numbers together to find out the total amount. So we know that 2 plus 5 equals 7, plus 3 plus 4 also equals 7. 7 plus 7 equals 14. So there was a total of 14 seashells collected. All right, now we're going to look at this line plot. How many twigs are 3 inches long? So remember when we did line plots, we're going to go to the 3 and we're going to count how many X's are above the 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 twigs. Okay, the next one we need a ruler for. We're going to use the centimeter side of the ruler. So that's the side that goes to the 30. We're going to put the 0 on the edge of the yarn and we're going to follow our finger all the way to which whole number it's closest to. And I see that it is closest to the 3 centimeter mark. And then finally, number 4. Noah uses 1 quarter and 2 nickels to pay for a pencil. How much money does he pay? Well, we know quarters are worth 25 and nickels are worth 5. So it would be 25, 30, 35 cents. Okay, make sure that you have all of this filled in. If you need more time, you can hit the pause button right now. Finish filling in your paper. And I will see you tomorrow for lesson 10.4. Friday will be 10.5. Monday 10.6. And then Tuesday will be our last math lesson before we assign you new things. And the next new round of Blizzard bags that we send home are going to be more fun activities and games. So once you get through this workbook, we have about 4 more lessons we're going to do together, and then you will have more of games and that kind of thing rather than workbook pages. So we will get there. Hang in there. You're doing a great job. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.